For roughly 100,000 years, winter never really ended. Not the kind of winter you know, softening into spring after a few cold months. A winter that stretched across an entire era. Glaciers, a mile thick, crawled over continents. Temperatures sat far below anything a human body is built to survive unprotected. And somehow, a thin, hairless, clawless primate made it out the other side. You are descended from the ones who figured out how. A human body brings almost nothing to a fight against an ice age. No thick fur, no blubber like a seal, no ability to hibernate. Compared to the wolves, mammoths, and cave bears sharing that frozen landscape, humans arrived critically under-equipped. If survival depended on biology alone, we shouldn't have made it. So our ancestors didn't survive the Ice Age with their bodies. They survived it by rebuilding their entire relationship with the environment around them. The first tool wasn't a spear. It was fire. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham has studied how central fire became to human survival itself. Fire didn't just provide warmth in a landscape that could kill exposed skin within hours. It transformed food, making calories dramatically easier to digest when finding any food could take an entire freezing day. It also pushed back the dark and the predators that hunted in it. For a group on an open frozen plain, fire was the difference between waking up the next morning and not. But fire alone couldn't solve the Ice Age. Step away from the flames, and exposed skin became a death sentence within hours. That's where the second technology comes in: clothing. Archaeologist Ian Gilligan has researched how tailored, fitted clothing appears almost exactly alongside the harshest stretches of the Ice Age. Early humans didn't just drape hides over their shoulders. Using bone needles, some of the oldest ever discovered, they sewed hides into fitted, layered garments that trapped body heat. Gilligan's research suggests this invention may have been what allowed humans to survive Ice Age Europe and Siberia at all, regions lethal to an unclothed human within a single winter night. Here's the detail that makes this story stranger. The Ice Age wasn't steady cold. Paleoanthropologist Rick Potts has studied the climate our ancestors actually evolved in and found it swung wildly, sometimes shifting from glacial cold to relative warmth within a single lifetime. Potts argues this instability, not the cold itself, was the real pressure. Survivors weren't necessarily the ones best adapted to cold. They were the ones flexible enough to invent new solutions when old ones stopped working. This is where the deepest secret of Ice Age survival comes into focus. It isn't fire, and it isn't clothing. It's cooperation. No single human could hunt a mammoth alone, tan a hide alone, or keep a fire burning through an Arctic night alone. Ice Age survival required tight groups sharing food, warmth, and knowledge, passing hard lessons down through generations who would otherwise learn everything from scratch. At a cost the landscape didn't forgive. Groups that hoarded resources or failed to pass down knowledge didn't make it through enough winters to leave descendants. The humans who did were almost by definition the ones who learned to rely on each other completely. So when you feel that pull toward community, that instinct to share what you have with someone who has less, you're carrying forward a strategy that got your ancestors through 10,000 generations of winters that never seemed to end. The glaciers eventually retreated, but the instincts they carved into you never did. Winter, for your ancestors, lasted 100,000 years, and somehow they made it to spring.